What's up, guys? I hope you're all enjoying your weekend so far. Last week was chock full of events, and it's crazy how things have been unraveling in the previous couple of weeks. There still seems to be a lot on the horizon for the XRP community, so we better buckle up, as this ride is about to get really bumpy. With that said, let's roll that intro and dive right into today's video. As always, welcome back to Moneyside, your favorite crypto news channel. If you are new here, welcome to the XRP fam. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our daily crypto news updates. I'll get back to today's topic. We are going to rev those engines with this burning question. What will happen to XRP if the banks disappear? I mean, this is entirely possible, especially with XRP being used as the bridge currency. What do I mean? XRP currently can be used to convert from one fiat currency to another, or in essence, we could say to move money around the world. We've heard it all from the Bitcoin maxes. They are saying that there aren't going to be banks anymore and the US dollar in a couple of years. We're definitely going to find more about this as time goes by. Definitely not just taking their word for it. On the brighter side, if that's going to be the case, we will see at least one use case for XRP. Yep, as long as XRP is helpful to the people in one significant way, it's never going away. This will be one of those exciting topics, so buckle up and enjoy this ride. We have this article from U.Today with the headline, Ripple Brings Clarity. David Gokhshtein posted a tweet about the crypto industry. Before we proceed further, I want to say this. It has everything to do with Ripple XRP getting to its all-time high, despite all the bias Ripple has been getting from these Bitcoin maxi troll types. At some point, I think everyone will have to recognize that XRP is not going away. Let's quickly go through this article on U.Today and see what it says. Hack Protocol CEO David Gokhshtein shared a post about Ripple on his official Twitter page. Thus, Gokhshtein tweeted that Ripple will bring clarity to the crypto industry. His given message resonated with a wide range of followers. Some of them expressed hope for it. The entrepreneur himself has never conceded his sympathy for Ripple and is among those who actively support the introduction of cryptocurrencies into the financial sphere. Gokhshtein also has repeatedly stated that Ripple XRP remains on the list of cryptocurrency projects he considers most promising. Recall that the former candidate for U.S. Congress believes that Ripple is most prepared to work with banks because of a great deal of preparation. David Gokhstein's observation is based on the position of Ripple's customer network, which consists mostly of central and commercial banks. In his other tweet, Gokhshtein says Ripple has done everything possible to be ahead of the curve when it comes to integrating with the banking system. Other projects will have to play catch-up because they were too busy believing that banks would disappear. XRP breaking all-time high isn't if, it's more like when. And at this point, I have to say I totally agree with this guy. I've been thinking along those lines as well, and if you think about it, everything will make sense. The kind of a world that the Bitcoin maxi trolls envision is there is no fiat currency, and Bitcoin is used for everything, which means that you have to use Bitcoin when purchasing everything from the stores. All this seems antithetical to Bitcoin's core mission, a decentralized peer-to-peer system where we do not need banks, as people will custody their own money. There will be no utility for fiat currencies, but what they don't know is that not everybody wants to control their own money. They want someone else to be responsible for that. For instance, I custody my crypto, but the work around it all is just something else. The 24-word code, people like the idea of being in control of their own funds, but the risk and work that comes with it is just too much. Unlike someone who uses a bank, when you are in the custody of your own funds, there is no backing, and all this tends to be too intimidating for some people. So I will say this boldly, not everyone wants to take on that responsibility of being in the custody of their own funds. And thinking about it, exactly where are we supposed to put this 24-digit code? In the house? You might get robbed. And just like that, all your fortune is gone. Remember, banks will no longer be there in the Bitcoin maxis world. So it's not like you can walk into a bank and store your code in a safety deposit box. The only other option left is memorizing the code, which kind of feels like quite a stretch. You might hope that you will not forget, but that's much of a risk, and I bet not an option that everyone is willing to take. Now, let's move on. Further on in that article on U.Today, it says, note that to date, Ripple has partnered with banks to transfer money across borders and also offers many features through its RippleNet solution. RippleNet offers banks the ability to transfer funds without having funds in Nostro, as with other traditional payments used by banks. The PAC Protocol CEO has also repeatedly stated that Ripple XRP is as good as Bitcoin. Overall, Gokhstein considers diversification in crypto development a successful tack. The confrontation continues. This tweet by Gokhstein was published amid a confrontation between Ripple and the SEC. The day before, Ripple secured a subpoena from a former SEC official. Far from that, we also have this other headline from U.Today that says, former Ripple partner MoneyGram in talks to be purchased by PE firm Advent. This is quite interesting, I must say. We are talking about MoneyGram, a publicly traded company that could now become a private company. If that really happens, we have to think about the possible implications of MoneyGram getting back together with Ripple, as we will now have different people in charge. Let's look at that article posted on U.Today. We can see that private equity firm Advent is negotiating to acquire MoneyGram remittance giant. According to Street Insider, former major Ripple partner MoneyGram could be purchased by private equity firm Advent. We can see that from a tweet by Delta One that says PE firm Advent in talks to acquire MoneyGram. Street Insider. MoneyGram used to be a major partner of the Ripple blockchain Decacorn. However, on March 9th, the company officially terminated its partnership with MoneyGram. Prior to that, the latter distanced itself from Ripple after the U.S. Securities Regulatory Agency initiated a lawsuit against it and two of its top-tier executives, co-founder Christopher Larson and current chief executive Brad Garlinghouse. A few days after the partnership was terminated, Ripple Labs sold all of the MoneyGram shares it held. Just to keep you up to speed, Ripple and MoneyGram parted ways. Not that there's bad blood between the two or anything, but with everything that's been going on with Ripple and the SEC lawsuit, there wasn't much they could do. However, they vowed to revisit the partnership in the future once there was more clarity on XRP. Far from that, stuff like this happens all the time, where we see a company that has been publicly traded for years, then boom, it gets bought out by a private company. With this case here, we are still wondering now that there will be a new set of officials. Will the partnership with Ripple still stand? Well, even if the top MoneyGram officials remain, we have to consider that the PE has bought them out, has a big part to play now. I guess the most logical thing here to say is that if the partnership with Ripple is truly beneficial for MoneyGram, then by all means, they might as well pursue it. But as far as we know, we will just acknowledge that we are swimming in unknown territories, which could be another hurdle that we might have to deal with as a community. Maybe if we get lucky though, and the new team is on board for this, they might give the go-ahead with the partnership. This has just become an extra layer that we will have to go through now. An extra layer of bureaucracy. Well, time now to take a look at the technical analysis of XRP. We are looking at the weekly perspective. We will remain a bull 100% until the price closes between the 0.23650 extension. The 2017 bull market topped out at 2.272 fib extension with a slightly higher FOMO price. You'll have to map that one out for yourself. So far, the log scale fib has been playing out nicely this run, and I will have that same fib 2.272 price target due to its aligns perfectly with our long-term horizontal trend line. If we don't reach 2.72 expectations, the measured move price would hit the $100 mark, as that perfectly hits the 2.0 fib. Institutions are waiting for regulations or news regarding in the coming months, weeks, as Pocahontas from Congress has given a deadline for the SEC to have a base or guideline for regulations by July 28th. And as soon as they get confirmed, I think it's goodbye to these prices forever. Distant crybaby memory. Everything aligns like a puzzle. But I do believe with this Bitcoin and alt-FUD pullback, delay is for institutions to get sale prices. So I am predicting we will have an extended bull run until mid-year 2022. That is also based on an alt market cap chart, trend, and timeline. XRP will be a game changer forever in this new world economic system, and the price is the limit. especially if we will be using drops, not whole XRP for a numeric base for monetary transactions. Can't wait. Wait for the breakout out of our timeline consolidation period. Good luck to everybody. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and let's start a conversation. Thanks as always for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to click on the subscribe button below. Turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.